Hey everyone, Octoboy here. Before we hop in today, I just want to give a quick disclaimer. When we recorded this episode, we were having a bit of trouble with Presto's mic. His good one broke, and his backup mic wasn't the greatest quality, so his voice today sounds a bit muffled. We sincerely apologize, and we are working to fix Presto's situation as soon as we can. So, without further ado, let's get right into today's episode. Hey, welcome to Off the Wah. I'm your host, Octoboy, but you can call me Logan.
And I'm Presto the Magnificent, but you can call me Presto.
And we are both joined by the amazing Andre of Gamexplain.
Oh, you're too generous, and I like the alliteration there. But yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate you guys inviting me. I'm excited to chat about everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. And today we are gonna be talking about F-Zero 99, Mario RPG, and so much more. So join us on this episode of Off the Wall. Right, now, guest, do you perhaps have anything you would like to promote? Perhaps a channel of yours?
He's just a random person we found on the side of the street, actually. He has nothing
Yeah.
to promote.
I'm sorry, we're talking to me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I run the channel Gamexplain. We cover all kinds of gaming content, mostly Nintendo, though, or a focus on Nintendo, including deep dives into, trailer analysis, discussion videos on news, reviews, previews, all kinds of things. So, yeah, that's kind of what we're known for, is covering Nintendo stuff.
Yeah. And if you're somehow not subscribed to GameXplain already, go do that, because they are the place to stop for your Nintendo news, reviews, and
Yes,
so much more.
absolute great channel. Highly recommend.
Thanks. You're too kind.
So now we are going to move on to our 5-star reviews or our Patreon shoutouts. Presto, do you have those pulled up?
So we don't have any new 5-star reviews this week, so please go leave us a 5-star review. It's literally just 5 seconds. Scroll down to the bottom of Apple Podcasts or Spotify or Audible or wherever else you get your podcasts, except for where you probably won't see them in those other places. You can also leave a comment on the episode of the show, and you'll be able to see. You can leave it on YouTube, because we just launched on YouTube. So definitely go check out the YouTube channel in the description below, and you can comment on there, and we'll read those comments off on the show, either as questions or reviews, depending on what they're about. And then we also have Off the Wall on Patreon. So that's patreon.com/offthewall. Make sure to go check that out if you want to support us. You can support us for as little as $1 a month. At the $5 tier, soon you're going to be able to get some brand new full episodes that are Patreon exclusive. And right now, we're running a Christmas holiday sale until the end of the year, so that you can get a 7-day free trial on the Patreon. So if you just want to check it out for a little bit, then you can go do that. And yeah, that's about it.
Ooh, spicy. All right, well, cool. We are now going to move on. So we're all going to go over what we've been playing recently. Presto, would you like to start?
Yeah, sure. I haven't been playing a lot this week, but I have been playing some very good games. I played some F-Zero 99, took this F-Zero 99, finally a new F-Zero game I've been waiting for like 3 years, and it's so good, and we're going to talk more about that in the vlog deck. And then the other game that I finally hopped into again, I got Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition at Christmas last year, and I played 6 hours of it in like the first 2 months of the year, and then I just forgot about it until now. I picked it back up. It's still such a very good game, and I would recommend that's a very good entry point into the Xenoblade series if you want to play Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition on Switch.
All right, you're making a compelling argument for me to finally check out the game.
It's good.
Maybe I'll have to check it out too.
It's really long, but it's really good.
Yeah, that's the problem. How am I going to fit in with all the Dead by Daylight I've been playing?
All right. Some things that I've been playing. I have been playing a little bit of Apex Legends. It's a decent online shooter. Um, yeah, and it's free just like Fortnite, but I'd say it's better than Fortnite in my opinion.
Oh wow.
I've
That's
also been
good.
playing some Jackbox Party Pack 3, which is a lot of fun if you have some friends or family over. I've also been playing Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is a phenomenal game, and those of you who haven't checked it out, you definitely should.
How are
Also,
you still
a
playing
little bit of a
Mario?
random one here.
How are
Go
you
ahead,
still playing
continue.
Mario Wonder? How are you still playing Mario Wonder when that
Well, it's
game?
just since the last
You're
time
already
I've been on the
100%
show.
of it. Yeah, but you're already 100%
Yeah, well,
of
I've
it
been playing with
before
you.
the last time you on the show. Okay, that's true. You did play some online with me, but
Yeah.
I guess that counts. Fine.
Also, a bit of a random one. I have also been playing Terraria. I
Okay.
have made a bit of decent progress into the game. I'm still fairly new to it, and for the most part, I have no idea what I'm doing. But it's a fun experience overall, and if you're a fan of like sandbox games, sort of like that, then I'd highly recommend you give it a try. And also, I so Presto invited me over once, and we played a little bit of newer Super Mario Bros. Wii and Mario Kart Double Dash. Those were both
Yeah,
really
that's
fun.
newer Super Mario Bros. Wii, which is a ROM hack of new Super Mario Bros. Wii. That's very fun.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I hadn't heard of that.
It's
It's
actually
it's a
it's really cool. I like all of the things that they did with it. They made a bunch of whole unique levels and different backgrounds, different level designs, different music, different everything. It's really cool.
the
That
only
sounds
thing that's
impressive.
really yeah, the only thing that's really still there from the base game is just the base mechanics, and then the rest is
Got
just
it.
brand new full
Mm.
game. And then
And
Double
then
Dash is fun.
lastly, during my spare time, I sometimes like to get on Fruit Ninja on my phone
Why did you
because
put
it's
that
the
into
first
what
time I've
you've been
played it in a
playing?
while and it's a bit nostalgic. So,
Okay. I didn't put Mario Run in what I've been playing, but you put Fruit Ninja in what you've been playing.
yep.
Okay.
It, all right. Well, that's about all I've been playing. Andre, what have you been playing?
Yeah, Nintendo wise, I played through Mario RPG not too long ago and started going through the post game stuff. I know we'll be talking about that more soon, so I won't delve into it too deeply. Had a really good time with it though. I've been hooked on F-Zero 99, which I think also we may be touching on later, but super fun game. Really enjoying it. Speaking of racing games, I also, which is kind of actually a bit F-Zero like, I've been playing Rocket Racing in Fortnite or on Fortnite. It's so weird to be saying this. It's a platform now, as we're saying
Yeah.
in the pre-show, and yeah, that's been a lot of fun. I wasn't sure about it at first, but it really kind of started winning me over. I love how you can like kind of fly at will. You can go upside down. You have this really fun boost system. Having a lot of fun with that. And then, of course, I've been playing my most played game of the year, apparently, according to the Xbox stats, by far, being Dead by Daylight. Not a new game at all, but they keep adding new content. It just added Chucky, from the horror movies a couple weeks ago, and I've been just loving
Ooh,
everything about that game. So,
interesting.
yeah.
Well, I think it's time for us to move on to the Waluigi news. All right, so first
Yeah.
off, we have some new spirits coming to Smash Bros. With a new event in the future.
So
It's
this is
very interesting.
the fact that they're updating the game 5 years after it came out because they posted on the 5 year anniversary. Today marks 5 years since the release of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Commemorating the anniversary, a special 5-day spirit event will be held starting on December 7th. Get 5 times the amount of EXP and XP from battles during this event and 5 extra snack L items. So by the time you're hearing that, that's done. But they're also starting January 2024. They're adding 4 new spirit events featuring new spirits, and there's also going to be a tag team tournament with Amiibo. I think it's
Yeah,
cool that they're still adding things to this new game. Or
yeah,
old
what a
game.
surprise. Like, I thought they were done with the game entirely, and not that this is a huge update or anything, because it isn't, but still fun to see them, adding things to the game, largely in this case spirits, which, again, I thought we were fully done with it. And also that they're celebrating an anniversary. Nintendo rarely does this. Nintendo doesn't really make a big deal about anniversaries, but they made an exception for
Except
Smash.
Mario 35. That was the only other.
Except for, sorry?
Mario 35. They had the whole Mario 35 direct.
Right, so they were 30 years early in this case. Like, we normally have to wait another 30 years, but they actually nailed it on the 5th anniversary. And I think it helped, and it's smart too. It's still an active game, even if, it's not getting new content, but people are still playing it. It's not a bad idea to remind your user base of the game too. I'm sure it's still selling well, but especially ahead of the holiday season, like, it's just smart all around. And, I was actually just playing it again a couple weeks ago too, right before the 5th anniversary, and I'm like, man, this game, I forgot how fun this game can be. It's just a ton of fun. It's always going to be a ton of fun, and it's nice to see Nintendo acknowledge, an anniversary for once without waiting 35 years.
I wonder what spirits they're going to
Yeah.
add, because we got 4 new spirit events, so I'm wondering maybe they're going to add like things from Mario Wonder, like Mario Wonder enemies, or they could add Tears of the Kingdom stuff, or just a whole bunch of stuff from the newer games. So that'd be a good way to keep the game like modern, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, I was
that'd be
thinking
nice.
something along the lines of that too, yeah. I was thinking they would probably go with like some newer spirits to represent newer games.
Wait, do we know what spirits? Sorry, do we know what spirits have been added or are being added yet? Or
I
We
don't
just
I
know
don't
there's
think
gonna
we
be
do
4
know
new
yet,
spirit events.
but
Okay.
I'm very excited to see.
right?
And before we move
So
on
next
to
up, our
next
next piece of
move-
news.
before we move on to our next piece of news, I just wanted to shout out, hey, we're recording this live on our Discord server, which you can join in the description below. And at $2 Hero, aka Seth is listening in to the show. Hi, Seth. And you can do that too. So if you want to hear the pre-show and the post-show without subscribing to the Patreon, just catch us live on the Discord. And if we get the Discord to 112 people, I'll play through all of Hollow Knight to 112%, even though I really, really don't want to.
Yeah, so there's like a thing with Presto where he doesn't like Metroidvanias at all,
Mm-hmm.
but a while back, near the beginning of the show, he was challenged to beat the game if his Discord got to 112 members. So that should be really
112.
interesting, and we need people to join. So
Oh, wait,
please do that.
Which game is he playing through?
Hollow Knight.
Oh, Hollow Knight. Yeah, I started that game. I didn't get too far into it, so I'll be curious to hear your thoughts as one who doesn't like Metroidvanias.
Seth says, I don't know if it's just Discord's audio codec or whatever, but Presto sounds like he's racing out through space and time through 19 radio. Which, yeah, if my voice sounds a bit weird, it's because my microphone broke and I need to get a new one. Luckily, I have a warranty on it, so it'll be fine. But my voice won't sound as good in this episode, and we apologize for that. Sincerely. Shout out to warranties, just like that said.
Warranties are
What's our
great.
next news item, though?
Our next piece of news is that Nintendo Live Tokyo 2024 has been canceled due to threats and intimidations. I was not actually aware of this.
Andre,
Yeah.
I think your channel covered this. You know more about this?
I mean, I think you largely covered it. I didn't cover the story myself, so I don't have all the details, but my understanding is that I guess they were receiving some kind of threats or harassment to the point that Nintendo was just like, all right, we're canceling it, which, on the one hand is, completely respectable. Like, that's, safety of everyone is paramount, whether it's employees or attendees. So that's great. It's also just kind of really surprising too. Like, it wasn't that far away, and them just canceling an entire event for that reason is just surprising. Like, I don't know what kind of threats they had received or what exactly that was. But typically that's the kind of thing you would see, you would expect them maybe just to raise security or, add, just add more security or, drill down or double down on your policies. And I don't know fully, but in any case, you know what, if it's safer this way, then so be it. Again, it's just really surprising. You don't hear about things being, entire events, like big events being canceled all that often. Especially after the success of Nintendo Live at PAX just a few months ago.
Yeah, I
That's
agree.
even worse.
It's kind of weird that they would take this direction with all of this, and I'm not sure exactly of what the story behind this is, but I might have to look into that because this is really intriguing.
Maybe more to come next week. That's not the only live event that's been canceled this week, though, because E3 has also been officially confirmed dead and gone. It's gone forever. This surprises nobody because nobody even was planning on going to E3 even if they held it, which is sad, but still.
Yeah, the only surprising thing here is that they announced it. Like, I'm actually shocked by that. It's the kind of thing I just figured would just, never come back. And you may hear rumblings of attempts to bring it back in the future, but, it never actually happened. And I'm actually surprised that they just straight up said it. I don't fully know why. Maybe because people are asking about it. I guess because it's probably the time of year when they would, they would soon be looking into hosting the show or have, setting up arrangements with publishers and other venue people, whatever it is. But still, the fact that they actually officially confirmed it is surprising, and it's it's a little bittersweet. I think I've been in the industry for a long time, and I've been at almost every E3 for the past 2 decades whenever they had one, and I remember the early years, like being really excited to go. It was a lot of fun back then, especially because still in the early days. So you really, unless you were at the show, you never really got the best impression of these games. Like, you were largely reading other people's impressions of the games. But now that, with internet obviously being widespread, companies hosting their own digital showcases, it does make a question, like, what really is the value of E3 anymore? Like, why do I need to read someone's impressions of a game? I can just watch a video of it instead. And so, in the grand scheme of things, it's sad that it's gone. There's been such an institution of the gaming industry for so long. But on the other hand, it's like, was there even a place for E3 anymore? Maybe there was, but they weren't able to figure that out. And and it's not like there's any shortage of other events to take up, its place, whether it's PAX or the Game Awards or Summer Showcase or whatever else. So yeah, nothing lasts forever, and it's a little, like I said, bittersweet. Like, it's sad that it's gone, but I'm not really too broken up about it.
Yeah, we're basically going to get the same announcements either way, and hey, there's E3.
Yeah.
That's it.
Honestly, I was a
happy-
little disappointed when I first heard about it, but it's honestly not too big a deal, like you guys were saying. I think probably one of the bigger things that caused its downfall was the recent rising of Summer Game Fest. I think that most people are moving on to the Summer Game Fest, and that's what's causing E3 to go down the drain.
Yeah, that definitely didn't help. I think there's probably a variety of factors, and that's certainly one of them. Like, to Geoff Keighley's credit, like, he was ready. Like, the moment there wasn't going to be an E3, he's like, all right, I'll take over. Here I go.
Yeah.
You mean I get a second live event?
Sorry?
I said, you mean I get a second live event? No way.
Exactly, right? Pretty soon, eventually, every day of the year is going to be a Geoff Keighley gaming event. Just give it time.
Honestly.
That says as Celine Dion would also say about the death of E3, my heart will go on.
Yeah, there we go. Well said.
Yeah.
Well said. Our next news item we have here is
Right.
Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, The Hidden Treasure of Area Zero, Part 2, The Indigo Disc. That's a very long title. Koraidon and Miraidon will gain the power to fly. While this power is believed to be just temporarily imparted, it can apparently be made permanent once you've made it far enough into your adventure. So basically, they just took
Yeah,
a very
I'm
good
very
piece of
happy with
data.
like all of the quality of life changes that they're adding with the DLC. Like, especially with like being able to control your Pokemon, which I think is really, really cool. And I might get the DLC just to try that out because it sounds like a lot of fun. But yeah, just all the
The fact
quality
that
of
they're
life features with like the flying and all the little things like that.
But they're locking those quality of life features behind the DLC paywall instead of just updating the game like they said that they would. They said they were going to fix it. It still hasn't been fixed. And instead they're adding more
Yeah,
things which are probably
that
going to
part's
be just as
unfortunate.
buggy into this update.
Yeah.
So yeah, still not very impressed with Pokemon Company at all about this game. And just praying and hoping that maybe someday they'll finally make it better and I'll actually buy it. For now, I'll just keep playing Arceus.
Fair enough. All right, I think
Anything else
that's
to say
about it
about that?
for our Waluigi news. So we are going to move on to our community questions. All right, let me pull those up really quick.
Our first question is from Reggie Gigas, aka Maddie Beth. Who asks, why wasn't Gino in Smash? Very good question. Why wasn't Gino in Smash?
I
So
think, man.
my opinion on this, or you go first.
No. Please continue.
Okay, so my opinion on this is that Gino just wasn't that popular or well known at the point in time when he was being considered for Smash. Like, I get that there are a lot of people who are big fans of Mario RPG and stuff like that, but honestly, it's just he's not that well known. Probably not well known enough to get into Smash, in my opinion. At least not for now.
Not for now. In the days after the Mario RPG remake. No, I think you're right.
Okay, yeah.
No, I know what you mean. Yeah, I think that's. Sorry.
Smash is getting an update, so possibly.
That's true. Maybe. I guess. Wait, is Gino already a spirit in the game? Is he? He has a costume. Does he have a spirit? If not, he should get. He should get. There should be a spirit. I think he is though. I think he is a spirit in the game.
Probably
Isn't he?
is. Yeah, I
I
feel
think
like
he is.
Would be a spirit.
Yeah, does he have the music and everything?
Yeah, he's a legend.
I believe.
He's a legend spirit. Okay.
All right, $2 hero in the chat saying Mal would have been better anyways. I said what I said. $2 hero. I follow you on Twitter. I am rethinking this now. I've seen a few other takes of this. It's like, well, Milo is always a better one anyway. You know what? I don't care. I don't care. I want Gino. I've always wanted Gino. I still want Gino. And to be fair, as far as I'm sure it's just my inner child speaking, Gino's the one that stood out to me as a kid. He just seemed like this cool guy. He had guns in the Mario game, basically. You know, in an era when Mario never had guns at all. And he had this mysterious personality to him. You know, whereas Mallow as a kid, I'm like, he's just a crybaby. What's he know? You know, and even if I can empathize more with Mallow these days, my heart still belongs to Gino. And Gino's name literally has a heart in it. You know, it's got those 4 characters. One of them's a heart. He knows what he is. He's this cute little doll thing. I think he deserves to be in Smash. As for why he wasn't yet, probably popularity. Not many people, you know, unless you grew up with Mario RPG, not many people knew who he was. Although there was a time apparently when Sakurai was actually considering him for Smash Brothers Brawl, and I think either ran out of time or something else came up, and he wasn't able to make him work. And it sucks. I'm disappointed we missed out on that opportunity.
Well,
speaking of
Mallow, yeah. Why wasn't Mallow in Smash for Monkey Thunder? So, for the same reasons as Gino, it's just there's not enough popularity there. And even if there were to be a rep from Mario RPG, it would definitely be Gino first.
Yeah, I think relevancy is a huge thing when it comes to Smash characters. I mean, I know there's no official rules or anything. I'm sure there's characters in there that conflict with what I'm about to say. But at the end of the day, by the time Smash Wii U, 3DS, Ultimate were coming out, you know, Mario RPG wasn't really relevant anymore. Those characters have been in, you know, one game minus a cameo Gino was in once and then removed from in the remake from Mario and Luigi. And yeah, I think it just, you know, why invest resources into a character that's going to appeal to a small demographic that you're already appealing to, being the Mario demographic, when you could bring in, you know, you can invest those resources in other characters that will probably be, you know, be a better return on the investment, in the sense that it will reach people who the other cast isn't, and could bring more people to buy your game.
Okay, I see what you're saying, but also Banjo-Kazooie, and also Piranha Plant.
Piranha Plant is the ultimate counter, because I don't know what they were smoking with that. But to my credit, Piranha Plant's been in everything. He's probably been in more games than almost every third-party character in Smash Brothers. And Banjo, at least Banjo had 4 games, so that's still, you know, 4 times as many as Gino and Mallow.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Hey, technically, Gino and Mallow now have 2, so 2 times.
That's true. They have doubled it.
Our next question from Josiah Park asks, what's the best Mario Party 9 minigame? I've never played Mario Party 9.
I'm not all too familiar with Mario Party 9 either, but I have pulled up a list, and probably one of my favorites is Player Conveyor. It's like it's basically the mini game where you go all these rotating platforms trying to get to the center, and I think it's really fun to like try and find the correct path to get into the middle.
That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Yeah, Mario Party 9 wasn't my favorite Mario Party. It was nowhere close. But I'm looking at a list now, and we actually did a whole like video back in the day on like every minigame in it. And one of the few I can remember, I think, was Speeding Bullets, where you're like riding bullet bills. And I remember that being fun. Like I always like the kind of pseudo racing games in Mario Party, and that was a fun one as I recall.
I think I'm gonna go with.
I like that one too. That one's definitely fun.
This is me looking at the. This is me looking at the wiki. Skylinks looks like fun. It's just a platformer minigame, and I always like the platforming minigame. So I'm going with that one.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I see what Orton you're talking about. I have the list pulled up too. All right. Well,
read off the next question.
I think, yeah. All right. We have another question from Mute Dog the Gamer, who says, "Which games currently slated for next year are you most interested in playing? Additionally, any older games you're excited to get back to after the non-stop 2023 flurry of games that demanded everyone's attention?"
I'll go first. Why not?
So,
which games currently slated for next year are you most interested in playing? I really want to play Super Princess Peach and that Thousand Year Door remake. Those two are top of my list. And then older games, I'm excited to maybe play some more Ocarina of Time because I'm still on the second dungeon of that game.
So
Yeah.
okay,
Well,
in terms,
have you now? Is that your first time through the game? Have you never played it before, Ocarina?
Yeah, and I'm
Oh wow.
not looking up answers to anything either, which makes it a lot harder. I spent like 5 hours wandering around the open world trying to find a second dungeon.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so I
it's
found
the
it.
same
I
way
just
for me.
Oh wow. How are
I-
you? How are you enjoying it? It's so rare you hear of. I grew up. When I was growing up, everyone played Ocarina then. So how are you enjoying it now after playing all the other Zelda since, or I imagine some of the Zelda since rather?
uh, hmm.
Does it hold
I'm
up?
not
Is it still
liking.
fun or?
I think it's better than Mario 64.
Oh wow.
Which
All
isn't
right.
hard to do because I don't like Mario 64 that much.
I was wondering. All right. Fair enough.
That's bold.
So
That's bold.
I'm enjoying it. I think it's a fun thing to play through, especially since I want to play through all of the 3D Zelda games. So I'm going to start with Ocarina of Time, of course.
Good choice.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm the same way with Zelda for the most part. I can't get very far in anything because I just get lost. But in terms of games slated for next year that I want to play, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon port, or Luigi's Mansion 2 HD as they're calling it, which still drives me nuts. I am a big fan of the Luigi's Mansion series, and particularly Dark Moon. I enjoyed that game a lot, and so I'm probably going to end up double dipping and getting that, and so I'm very excited for that. As well as the Thousand Year Door. I've only played the original Paper Mario on N64 Online, and I haven't played it very much. But from what I have played, it's very cool, and I like the concept a lot, and so I think I might end up getting the Thousand Year Door port. And some older games, I've actually been thinking of playing another playthrough of Undertale, and maybe going for like a neutral ending this time, because I've always gone either pacifist or genocide. So I don't know. I might try it out.
I guess that's an older game at this point. That game came out 8 years ago. Goodness.
Yeah.
How time flies. I guess for me, my answers are gonna be similar in the upcoming games. I'm looking forward to Princess Peach Showtime and the Thousand Year Door remake. Even though I just replayed that a couple of years ago, and now I wish I hadn't. I wish I just held out for the new one. Beyond that, I can't really think of much in the way of games that I've missed. I'm very much in the moment, so like if there's a game not on my radar that I'm not playing, I don't really tend to go back to things. Like if I want to play, I'm gonna play it right now. So I can't really think of anything right now that I'm looking forward to revisiting. Not that there won't be something. Actually, I will say I really want Banjo-Tooie to be added to the Switch Online to give me an excuse to go back to that game. After playing the first one a few years ago again on Switch Online, I'm like, all right, that was fun. Let's do Tui, and it's still not here. I don't know where it is, but I would love to revisit that someday. So
Yeah, $2 hero and that needs to happen. And more rare more rare games in general. Please, Diddy Kong Racing. That's all I need.
yeah,
on
Diddy
my
Kong.
PS4, and I'm gonna be happy.
We did just get Jet Force Gemini, and at the least, it has a small taste of Diddy Kong Racing in it, since it has one of the tracks from that game as a little side bonus in Jet Force Gemini.
Possible. Anything's
Yeah.
possible.
Blastcore, $2 hero. Yes, where's Blastcore?
I don't know what that game is.
It's a
I don't
game where
either.
you go around, it's awesome. So that basically you just blow up stuff. You like drive a bunch of vehicles, you just try to mow down buildings, like blow them all up. And the reason you're doing this, because they had to justify it in some way, right? Is that there's like an out of control nuclear carrier, like a truck carrying nuclear missiles. It's on a predetermined path because for reasons I forget why. It's like out of control, and you need to clear a path for it so it doesn't run into something and blow up. So genius concept. Love the game. A lot of fun. Also very difficult.
Wow, that actually sounds really interesting. I might have to look into that.
Yeah, it's cool because it's also like it's part action game, but also part puzzle. Like you actually have to solve some puzzles during gameplay, and because you're under this constant time limit, it really adds to the pressure. So it's really interesting.
That sounds really cool. Pray to the Nintendo gods that it comes to Switch Online.
That's right.
Our final question here is from Monkey Thunder, who asks, "What is your favorite VeggieTales song?"
So our favorite what
Okay.
song?
I'm gonna be honest.
VeggieTales.
I don't.
What is your favorite VeggieTales song?
Veggie Tales, like the religious cartoon.
Yes, VeggieTales.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay, I had to make sure I heard that right.
I'm completely honest. I don't remember like a single VeggieTales song except for the theme song, so I guess I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah,
I'm
I
either
got
gonna
nothing.
go with the Water Buffalo song, which I only know because on a previous episode, Monkey Thunder, same person who asked this question, sent in, "What would you do with a water buffalo?" And Steph and I responded in some very interesting ways. And that's a short on the YouTube channel if you want to go check it out. It's very funny. But
Right.
I like
Okay.
that
Yeah,
song,
I
and
remember the
then
Water
also,
Buffalo one now.
if I don't know if I'm the only person who ever watched the Pirates Who Don't Do Anything VeggieTales movie, but I did have that movie, and the song "The Pirates Who Don't Do Anything" is still a good song. $2 Hero says, "Oh, that's a good one." I love Nintendo podcasting.
Yeah,
Logan, you
it's
wanna
been a
move to
while
the next
since
segment?
it's been a while since I've seen anything VeggieTales related. So I am not caught up on that front at all.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
anything about the show. I've only seen like
Neither
the
do I.
memes.
Same.
Yeah.
Logan, you want to move us on to our next segment?
Yeah, I believe we are out of community questions. So it is now to move on to best and worst. Alright, so we are going to be ranking our best and worst games of 2023.
Okay.
Would anyone like to start us off
So there's
with
this
your
one
worst
game.
game?
This is I don't know if this is the worst game. This might be the best game. There's this one game. Logan and I were just scrolling through the Switch eShop, as you do. We found this
Oh
game
no,
called
I know where this is going.
Samurai. Lotion Samurai for the Nintendo Switch. What is it?
Oh
I have
gosh.
no idea. I'm slightly scared. It's $3, and I think that's probably the worst game that came out this year. Assuming that it came out this year.
Lotion Samurai?
Yes, Lotion
What?
Samurai for the Nintendo Switch.
Wow, that's
Because Nobunaga Oda, who has been converted into a Lotion Samurai, cannot even walk due to the slickness of the lotion. However, by kicking the walls, he can slide through at speed that is impossible for ordinary people. So it's like a platformer, almost, maybe? I don't know what the game is. It looks weird. It looks like the worst game this year.
Oh man.
$2
Let's try and
$2
find the
hero
worst
says
game.
this is ChatG coded.
It's definitely that GPT coded, yeah. It's hilarious. Let's just do worst Nintendo game, because there's probably so many bad games that came out this year.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
going to nominate the day before, with that game getting all that attention right now for like coming out 4 days ago, and then this company shutting down or something, or whatever it is. I don't know. So worst Nintendo game, like worst first party game, or worst game on Nintendo platform, or
Published by
Yeah.
Nintendo. Let's say that.
sorry,
But it doesn't really matter.
Published by Nintendo.
published by
pretty
Nintendo this year.
Oh, okay.
Oh man, that's I mean, we're in the year when Nintendo got 2 best game of the year nominated. Oh, actually, I got it. I'm going WarioWare. I'll go WarioWare. It's fine. It's just totally, it's just like mid across the board. It's it's basically a sequel to the Wii one, which is cool, but I almost instantly forgot about too. And the new one doesn't really do anything all that special.
I think Seth is dead. I think we killed him. No, it's Everybody Want to Switch. Yeah, that's the worst game this year, as Seth stated him.
See, you know what? I will defend this game. I'm not to the death, mind you, but I will say that I expected nothing and I got some entertainment out of it. So,
Well, something is something. So I still haven't played it, but I'll take your word for it.
The question
$2
is
Hero
it
said,
WarioWare?
sorry.
Is it better than WarioWare?
I mean, it's I think it's like I said, a matter of like expectations. And WarioWare, like, it just met them. I'm like, it's gonna be probably the thing I expected to be, and sure enough, it was, which is fine. But Everybody Want to Switch, like, that game got shat on so hard, leading up to release or even after release. And I played it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm actually having fun with it. Now, to be fair, it was on stream. With what was cool actually is, unlike most Nintendo games, we were actually able to incorporate like 20 other people from our stream into the game without them even having to own the game. That was cool. And not every game's a home run. Most of them aren't even. But the few games that did hit, I had fun with them. So. I haven't really gone back to the game much, to be honest, but I had fun with it in that instance, and that's more than I expected. So,
I suppose I'm going with Everybody Want to Switch as mine, even though I never played it, because I think WarioWare at least looks more high effort than Everybody Wants to Switch was.
That's fair.
Oh gosh, I'm trying to think of bad games that came out this year, because I'm terrible at keeping tracks of what games came out what year, so you might have to bear with me for a second while I try to think of one. Gosh, I don't even know.
There was what else? There was Advance Wars.
Yeah, they had Advance Wars.
Kirby Deluxe at the start of the year.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh, we had Detective Pikachu Returns.
Oh god, that's a good candidate. Actually,
I don't know
my
much
answer.
about that.
I'm changing my answer. I'm going to Detective Pikachu. That game looks so boring. I didn't even care. I just ignored it completely. To be fair, I didn't play it. Maybe it's good. I don't know. I'll never know. But I just don't care that much. Oh, $2 Heroes defending the game.
I don't know if he's saying he'll defend it being good or defend it being bad.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. I'm like looking through a list. From what I've played, there's like nothing really interesting that I would say is bad per se. So I guess I'm just gonna go with Everybody Want to Switch as well.
$2 Hero says it's very clear that Detective Pikachu Returns was a 3DS game ported over to Switch. However, it's more Detective Pikachu. Which I guess that's fair.
Yeah, it's hard to get a read on that because I don't know what that means. I mean, it is factually more Detective Pikachu. Was Detective Pikachu really like an acclaimed game? It kind of slipped by me on 3DS as well. Like I went to a preview event for it and then I never touched it again either. Okay, they really dug it. So, I do think, I do think on the 3DS in particular, like I think it stood out as being at least more unique. You know, it had a good presentation and it had the weird hype build up because they teased that Pikachu facial stuff like years before it came out, which was super weird. And then it finally came out, and I think they delivered on the promise largely. But then I look at the new one, and I'm like, yeah, that looks basically like the 3DS version again, but up-resed and with new content. To be fair, yeah,
At least it looks and runs better than Scarlet and Violet.
that is a good point. And actually, yeah, Seth said, or sorry, $2 Hero says, kind of fun to see the way the Pokemon exist in the world, and I can see that. That's something I think the mainline games kind of miss out on. Actually, I want to see more of that weird Pokemon world. I think the Detective Pikachu movie actually did a really good job at that. So hey, if the game delivers more on that, then you know what? Maybe I'm in the wrong here.
So those are some candidates for worst. What do y'all think for best? Tears of the Kingdom?
Started us off. Might as well start off again.
Oh, sorry, who is?
Presto.
Yeah, Tears of the Kingdom. Hey, I've only played like 5 hours of it, but that has to be the best game. I want to play more. I just haven't had a chance to. It's either Tears of the Kingdom or Mario
Wait.
Brothers.
Sorry, did you say you played 5 hours of it?
Yeah.
Are you even off the giant sky island yet?
Oh, I got off the Skyline. I did the whole tutorial. But granted, this is me coming right off of playing all of Breath of the Wild. I played the entire
Oh, that'd be a lot back to back, yeah.
and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take a break for a bit. So that's what I'm doing. But it
That's
was really good at
understandable.
what I played.
Good.
So you both are gonna hate me. I think Presto already knows this, but I've never beaten like a single Zelda game ever, and I've only played up until the first Divine Beast in Breath of the Wild. And if I ever do get around to beating that, it's only then that I'll move on to Tears of the Kingdom. So I have no experience with that game whatsoever.
Logan, that was literally me last year. That was I got up to the first Divine Beast and I didn't beat it, and then I finished it this year. So hey, maybe next year.
Well, see, I did the Divine Beast. I just haven't played anywhere past that.
But yeah, shout out to Pikmin 4. Definitely. So, Pikmin 4 is amazing.
Yeah, I know
Speaking
a
of
lot of people
Pikmin 4,
really enjoyed it.
Speaking of Pikmin 4, I'm actually going to put that as my top.
Oh wow.
I really enjoyed Pikmin 4. I had a great time with it. It's getting me into the Pikmin franchise. Like, I just really enjoy the overall style with it, and Oatchi makes everything feel so fluid, and it overall the entire game as a whole is just so colorful and full of life, and there's so much to do, and yeah, it's just a great game, and I love it.
Yeah. Man, I want Oatchi in Smash. Oatchi was great, and I think he'd be a fun way to update Olimar.
Oatchi has a spirit in Smash. But
That would be interesting. I would like to see that.
Yeah. All right, I guess it's my turn.
yeah.
All right,
Go
I guess I will officially be spoiling my game of the year that we have not talked about on my own channel yet. But the game I enjoyed the most this year, F-Zero 99. I had so much fun in that game. I think it's basically gameplay perfection. The systems they added to they took a 16-bit classic, somehow updated it beautifully, and like added these these brand new gameplay systems that really make it so you're never fully out of the race, and it's just a white knuckle throw ride the entire way through, and it is so freaking fun. Even when you're losing and blowing up, I'm still having a blast, and it's just such a great time. Like, I'm so happy that game exists, and it's the game I've had the most fun with this year.
Yeah, I totally agree.
That's why I do
It's
that.
definitely a fun game. I've probably played more than my fair share of it, and I've come to learn a bit about the game, and it's a lot of fun, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely
And it's
not.
creating new F-Zero fans, which is always a good thing.
Fair enough.
Our worst games of 2023 were Everybody Wants to Switch, Detective Pikachu Returns, and WarioWare Move It. And our best games were Tears of the Kingdom, Pikmin 4, and F-Zero 99. And with that, we get to move on to our next segment, the Game Pitch. Speaking of F-Zero 99, Logan, you can say what the segment is about.
I'm to pitch an idea for a new 99 in the Tetris or F-Zero 99. So, Andre, would you like to go first?
You know what? I would, but I need a couple minutes to figure out my idea. So someone else can take it for now.
Seth says WarioWare 99, which I think he actually picked on his podcast when Tetris
Ooh.
99 was announced. I didn't, for the record, I came up with this segment idea before I listened to your podcast, so I wasn't copying you. We just had the same thought.
That's actually really interesting. I like that idea. Sounds like it would be fun.
Yeah, so that's it. Mr. Chatting in the chat there says WarioWare 99, which would be really fun having like a whole bunch of people doing different mini games and sending things everywhere. That'd be good. I'm gonna go. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I very behind on you, so sorry. I'm gonna go with, of course, I'm the Mario Kart guy. Mario Kart 99.
Yeah.
I think if you took Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and then shrank all of the racers down to the size that you shrink to when you're in Lightning Bolt and just keep it there permanent, and then have 99 players. It might not even be a new game. It might just be like a mode that's exclusive to Switch Online members for Mario Kart, and I would still play that. Because the idea of being on a Mario Kart track with 99 other people, and just the amount of items, frenzies, and everything that's going on, and they don't have to model any new tracks again. They just shrink everything, and then make it like 1 or 2 laps instead of all 3.
That would definitely be like overly chaotic and would need a lot of balancing, and I'm here for it.
Exactly.
Exactly. Think of that on Baby Park, right? 99 people on Baby Park.
Yeah, that was, I'm there for it. That sounds amazing.
Oh gosh, that would be a wild ride. I still can't think of anything.
I have no idea how this will work, but you know what? If it worked for F-Zero, with it bringing the series back into the limelight, I'm going to go Star Fox 99. This is how you bring that series back. You make it free, you get a lot of people to check it out, and I think that could be a lot of fun. I don't know how you're going to handle it without it being completely chaotic, but I don't care. I'm sure Nintendo can figure it out. Star Fox 99, please make it happen. And the key thing too is I really like, one thing I especially like about F-Zero 99 is how, unlike most of the other 99 or 35 games, all the players are in the same play space. That's what I want more of. So if they do a Star Fox or whatever else is next, I want that to be the same thing. I want everyone to be existing together, and that could be a lot of fun.
That's certainly an interesting idea, yeah.
What version of Star Fox would you base that on? Would that be like Star Fox SNES or Star Fox 64?
I was thinking 64. I had 64 in my head when I was picturing it.
Is it just like the battle mode from Star Fox 64 with 99 people?
I mean, kind of, but you would definitely need to rework it, because going back to that mode's not even that good by itself. It was back in the day. Doesn't really hold up, so they would definitely need to heavily augment it, so...
That's so you could swap between both styles, which would be interesting.
Hey, there we go.
Hey, man, F-Zero X update for F-Zero 99, please.
Yeah.
Hey, Logan, you're on the spot. You got to do it.
All right. Well, so this popped into my head, and I couldn't think of anything else in time, so I'm just gonna go with this. Wii Sports 99.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wii
they
Sports
kind of
99. Yeah, I think I'm not entirely sure how it would work at all, but basically just like Wii Sports, but with a bunch of people at once, and I think that would be cool actually. It would give a lot of people an excuse to try Wii Sports again for the first time in a while. And yeah, they kind of did $2 Hero.
Yeah, no, I mean, they show the promise of that with, I think, golf, bowling, and that might be it, actually, in Switch Sports. I forget I think it was 12 players at a time, maybe, somewhere around there. Bowling had more than that. I forget how many it had. 30, maybe? I forget. 24. But, yeah, that's awesome. I love the idea. Let's do it. Like, especially if they go crazy with it, right? I don't know how, like, 12 people on a tennis court. I don't know how that would work, but just do something wild with it, right? So
It would
Can you
probably
imagine?
be a very select few sports that would actually work with it well, and so I don't
yeah.
see it being like all of them, obviously. But
Hmm.
Yeah, it'd probably just be bowling and tennis. But can you imagine like playing sword fighting with 99 people
Yeah.
all on that one tiny platform trying to
gosh,
hit each other off?
just
Oh,
okay. Wait, whoa. Okay, so what if it was like a tournament style thing, where there were a bunch of people all at once doing several different matches with one other person, and then it was like this huge tournament, and then only one person ended up on the top.
yeah. Didn't Wii Sports Resort even have that sword fighting mode where it's like you versus like a ton of other NPCs? Like if they could find some way to make that like a
Oh,
full battle
yeah.
royale, that'd be
That
amazing.
that would be insane.
Yep.
Woohoo Island, and everybody just drops in with their sword. You can like move around with the joystick on your
Oh, like they
your
already
hand.
had the parachuting game too from Resort. Oh, that'd be perfect.
Yeah,
You can just
you could like
parachute
parachute in
into.
and then take out your sword and go beat up people. That would
Oh
be
my God,
I
yes,
love that idea.
That's
this needs to
amazing. I
happen.
love that.
Yeah, Woohoo Island needs to come back. It's sad that they killed it off. $2 Heroes fully on board with this
Honestly, yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
And that's it for the
$2
game tips
Hero
today.
says the Mii erasure in general is wild, and I agree. The Mii's need to come back. They're an iconic Nintendo staple, and I don't see why they need to be phased out.
Oh wait,
You know why?
actually,
Go
hear me
ahead.
out. Tomodachi Life 99. You live in a house with 99 other Mii's, and you all just do Tomodachi Life stuff. Like you're just living in a house. I don't
Is
know.
is it like Big Brother, but like the game version?
Pretty much, yeah.
That sounds interesting. I like it.
Oh yeah, but that's the
Yeah.
game tips for today. So there's that. I guess what we
All
usually
right.
do at the end is we vote for who is the best. So, uh, everybody who votes for Mario Kart 99, just say aye.
I
Okay. Hey, we got one. We got one. Seth, you can vote too because you're in the chat. Uh, everybody who votes for Star Fox 99, say aye.
wow.
Sorry.
Cool.
I think aye on that. Okay, Seth's giving you a vote.
All right. You got my follow back, Seth. Thank you.
And everybody who votes for Wii Sports / Sword Fighting 99, say aye. Aye.
I
Oh wait, can I vote more than once?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, sweet. Yeah, hell yeah.
I agree. That's definitely the best that we came up with today. That's amazing. Yeah, with that out of the way, we get to move on to second impression. So, Andre has been playing through the new Mario RPG remake, and we just wanted to hear your non-spoiler impressions of it because neither of us own it, and we need to cover it somehow on the show.
All right, well, I got you covered then. I will say I think this is a near perfect remake. They did a great job updating almost everything about the original game while staying extremely faithful to the original. Some might say to a fault, but because one of my issues with remakes potentially is that it's so easy to get lost in the weeds and kind of lose a plot and like not rather I mean I'm over exaggerating, but like you can like kind of it's easy to lose the essence of what a lot of the game accomplished because even sometimes what the original game did isn't fully it's hard to even fully understand what it is that game was. I think, especially if you're a team separate from the original team, which I believe this was. But they were, I think, in my opinion, they were extremely faithful. Like I go through an area, I'm like, yeah, that's how I remember it. Only looks much better now, and sure enough, I go back to the original game, I'm like, ooh, yeah, they did. They definitely did a great job updating this in the new era, and on top of that, they added some slight new content, very light, but I liked what they did there. My only main issue with it is it kind of speaking to my point I was just making is some of the new additions do chip away at the difficulty of the game, and it makes what was kind of already a simplistic RPG even more simplistic, and that did detract a little bit from me, and that's why I can't say this is the definitive version, just because enough of what they added make it easy enough they don't really have to think too much about what you're doing, and I kind of wish he had offered at least a harder mode, or B, an original mode that takes away some of those newer mechanics like splash damage or timed attacks, or the new team up ability, and that we can have a more purist experience while retaining the amazing visuals, the fantastic music, and the other quality of life stuff they added.
I wonder if you could do some sort of challenge that makes it so that you can't do any of those new abilities and just bring it back, like, can you not have team attacks or time attacks?
Oh yeah, you totally could. If you have any level of self-restraint, you could probably restore some of the difficulty. I mean, and to be fair too, part of the reason why it's a little easier is because I know how to get the best armor, the best weapons, and that definitely helps too. So for a new player, maybe it's as hard as it needs to be.
I'm very interested in that. I'm probably gonna pick up that game at some point, so we'll see what happens when I do that.
Yeah.
Is there anything else they changed to the battle system that's like noteworthy?
They made timing attacks. They added a guide so you can tell when to time it now. Oh yes, actually one of the biggest changes that kind of speaks to my difficulty point is you can now swap out players. You can now swap out your fighters. Because there's five characters in total. You can only have 3 in battle at a time, but now you can swap them out at will, including when they're dead. And so what that means is in effect you have 5 HP's worth. You have 5 characters with their full HP, so it's much harder to game over now because you can just cycle in a backup player when one dies. It's really difficult to actually. I don't think I game over it at all in this game until like the very end.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that does sound like it would be a big drawback. Yeah.
Is there any way to remove people from your party so that you would only have 3 people like the original game?
No, not really.
Okay. What do you think of visually and musically wise? Do you think they did a good job there?
Oh, it's perfect. It's pretty much perfect. Like visually, fantastic upgrade. They kept the essence of the art style before, which is impressive considering it was like one of those early pre-rendered games. And but they updated it so it loses some of that quality, which is fine because I think what it gained in the new art style makes up for it, because there was no way to fully capture that era of gaming again, and I think they updated that extremely well. And then musically, it's almost off the charts of how good it is. Almost every composition is better than it was before. There's only maybe 2 or 3 tracks where I'm like, I think I might prefer the original, but putting that aside, the rest perfect.
Isn't there a mode on that too where you can change back to the original soundtrack if you want?
You can even listen to old music. Yep.
Yeah, that's certainly a good feature. I think that's a good thing to have for people who prefer the old soundtrack more.
Mm-hmm. I just wish what would make it perfect is if you could set it per area, like per region. Like, hey, I want the new music here, I want the old music here, but it's all or nothing. So, which is fine for most people, I'm sure. But
I mean, hey, it's Nintendo. We should be glad that they gave it to us in the first place.
Yeah, we should be happy for any option from Nintendo.
Yeah.
Anything
As someone who has played a bit of Mario and Luigi, would you recommend this?
Oh, absolutely. It's like kind of in the same vein. I mean, I guess it's a little closer to the Paper Mario games. But I think if you like either of those series, I suspect you would enjoy Mario RPG. Now, I can't say that for sure, but I'm coming from the opposite direction, where Mario RPG was my first Mario RPG style of games. But like so much of what I think people enjoy in the newer games is seen in the original, and I think to some degree it's sometimes done better in the original. Depending on what exactly you're comparing. But yeah, like the Mario RPG, I think it has a special place in my heart because it's the first time we got to see the Mushroom Kingdom really fleshed out, like with actual characters and actual plot and story, and seeing these characters like actually evolve. Like this is kind of mind blowing as a Mario fan back then. Like, oh my god, they actually gave it a story and a plot and characters with feelings and everything. What? And I think the heart of that all still beats strongly. So it's all like very good. And I think people who enjoy the newer games, like I said, will still enjoy this original.
Yeah,
I'm
I
probably
would
gonna go
definitely
back and
take
play
that
this
into
again.
consideration. It's definitely something on my wish list.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's my next. I think this is going to be my next Mario RPG after I finish the original Paper Mario. Technically, I should have gone the other direction, but
That's fine.
it's fine. Any finishing thoughts you want to say, or you good?
On Mario RPG?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you missed it, I would say if you missed it or if you played it or missed it before and you're looking, let me, how do I want to phrase this? If you missed it before or you played in the past and you've been wanting to revisit, definitely check out the Switch version. But if you feel like you're good, you don't need to play it again, then you're fine skipping it too. Like, there's nothing like super new here that's gonna really change your mind at all. But otherwise, if you've been looking to revisit it, it's hard to do. It's hard to, you can't really do. This is probably the preferred way of playing it, minus the difficulty issue I mentioned. So, yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
cool.
$2 Hero says it's quick and breezy too. You can beat it in 20-25 hours. I think for me it was even quicker. I did it in I think 14 hours on stream. I beat the entire game on stream. Not 100%ing to be fair, but mostly, most of the way there.
Hmm.
All right. So yeah, that's Mario RPG. Thank you, Andre, for being here so we can talk about that on the show.
Yeah.
And with that, we get to move on to our
Yeah.
second to last segment, Fighter by Fighter. Basically what we're doing in this segment is we're ranking every single Smash Bros. Character on a tier list from S, or I guess C to S+, making up ranks as we go along the way. So far, Mario is C, DK is C, Link is A, Samus is C, Dark Samus is C, Yoshi is C, Kirby is A, Fox is A, Pikachu is A, Luigi is C, Ness is A, Captain Falcon is A, Jigglypuff is C, Peach is C, Daisy is C, Bowser is A, Ice Samus is C, Sheik is C, Zelda is C, Dr. Mario is C, Pichu is C, Falco is F, Lucina is F, Young Link is F, Ganondorf is C, Mewtwo is B+, Warrior is C, Chrom is C, Mr. Game & Watch is D, Meta Knight is D, Pit is C+, Dark Pit is D, Zero Suit Samus is C-, Wario is a C, and today we're ranking Snake. I used to be able to do that in one breath.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Congratulations.
Can Snake be an S tier? Oh, there is an S tier. Yeah, okay. So, I mean, his name starts with S, so.
Are you? Be careful. I mean, you put Jigglypuff in G because she had two G's in her name, so I guess.
I'm not saying my argument's logical. I'm just saying it's a matter of fact.
Yeah, that's so true. As for
So
me,
are we rating just based on like how we think they are, like or how strong they are, or?
Yeah, basically like how good of a fighter they are, how much they deserve to be in the game in the first place, stuff like that.
And you can also add your objective thoughts onto what you think about the character.
Got it.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, I think I'm gonna put Snake as an A. His uppy is really good. He has a lot of very good ranged weapons and bomb attacks that are all pretty fun to use. I haven't played him very much, but my friend Tyler plays him all the time, so I've been on the receiving end of his homing missile more than enough times. I think he's a pretty good defense on that.
I'm not all too familiar with Snake's moveset either, but it seems like all around he is a decent fighter. It's just if his up special wasn't incredibly broken sometimes because you can just use it to go infinitely up, I would give him an A, but since his up special is broken, I'm gonna go with a B+.
In this person here, $2 Hero said, "Yo, when Snake made it into Brawl, it was absolutely mind blowing." Yeah, but this isn't Brawl. This is Ultimate, and that's different. I've been chasing that Smash Soldier dopamine hit ever since.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say something to that effect too. I remember that, like seeing Snake in Smash was mind blowing. I feel like part of what makes Ultimate what it is that it's a celebration of these characters' legacies, and I think it's hard to divorce for Snake in particular because he was the first third-party character in Smash Brothers. That kind of gives him perhaps an unfair boost. But he was like seeing him in particular, a character that was so associated with Sony, also like throughout history. in a Nintendo game. Like, what? That's crazy. Um, so of course, he also has a standalone by and large. I think he still does, minus all the Konami drama from the past few years. Yeah, exactly right. In the lead up to Metal Gear Solid 4 as well, another big Sony exclusive. Then, um, so I guess for me, I would go looking at this list and seeing we have Link at A minus. I'm like, all right, he's not better than Link, obviously, but he's also big. So and with a legacy, I'm gonna go A minus as well on this guy.
Okay, so with an A minus, a B plus, and an A, I think an A minus is probably a very good place to put him on the
Yeah, that averages out really nicely, actually.
Perfect. And with that, we get to move on to our
Alright.
final segment.
This is the Wobject. And our Wobject for today is F-099. So we are going to be going over all aspects of this game, including gameplay, visuals, art style, music, all that stuff. Would anyone like to give opening remarks?
Was this a funeral? Opening remarks? We gather here today to say goodbye to the beloved franchise that F-Zero was. Never mind, it's back. F-099 is here.
So in
Yeah,
terms
you
of
should-
gameplay, what do you all think?
I
think it's. Go ahead, please.
I was gonna say I have no complaints. I don't know what they could have done to make this better. That's what I have.
That's how I feel. I basically said my piece earlier. I think the gameplay is essentially perfect. Like they did an amazing job of making a battle royale feel competitive for people of all skill levels without feeling unfair at the same time, which is truly incredible. Like if you have when you win first, you have to earn it, but you never feel like you're really ever out of the race for it either. And that is an amazing balance to accomplish in a racing game with 99 other people. So yeah, like gameplay wise, I think it's nearly flawless.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
I
totally
completely
agree.
agree.
And even with the
It
fact
captures-
that in a recent update they added just like a classic mode where you could play like the original F-Zero. Like touches like that where you have this perfect game but then also the stuff for the people who enjoyed the original more. I think it's just all around absolutely phenomenal.
It's kind of funny how that original mode, which I appreciate is there, but kind of like speaks to the strength of the main game's gameplay, because that original mode is freaking brutal. I don't know if you played it. I have not won first place in that yet. People are ruthless in that mode, and there's no catch-up
Yeah.
mechanic. If you screw up once, you're out. You're done. Good luck. You're screwed. But in the other mode, you have a fighting chance. You can always come back, even if not to first. You can at least work your way up the ranks. You have the potential to. And I think that actually having the two modes there is brilliant for both appealing to different demographics and mixing up the gameplay, but also shows just how much the core game got right.
Yeah. When I saw this announced, I was like, oh no, it's just a 99 game. I wanted a brand new F-Zero game, not realizing that this is a brand new F-Zero game. There's new mechanics like the Skyway. There's a whole bunch of new textures, new tracks. Almost everything has been rebuilt from the ground up, and it all looks really nice. And this is the first pixel art game Nintendo's released like as a main game in a while, unless we count Mario 35. And that even that
It's true, yeah.
No, you're totally right. I mean, the fact that it is effectively a brand new game, even if the tracks are the same, the gameplay's been changed so much that it effectively feels like an entirely new take on it. And it's free. It's essentially free if you have Switch Online at least, and that's so freaking cool. And I love seeing this. Like, what a surprise from Nintendo! Bringing back a neglected IP in this fun new way that's free to play. And it really makes me excited for the future of the series, which I think might be a post-show thing, so I won't go into it here. But
yeah. So Just a quick question. What vehicles do you all main?
I'm all about the
Uh,
Golden Fox. He was my original main on the Super NES, and I brought him back in the new one. I really love how it really complements my boosting style, which is like just boost constantly. So I'm like always flirting on the precipice of death, and I like that. So
I don't. Whatever the pink one is, I don't remember the name of it because I might be good.
Pink one?
oh,
Yeah.
Fire Stingray.
Yeah, the Fire
Yeah,
Stingray.
the fire thing. That's the one that I use because
Yeah, I
I
also
did.
use the Fire Stingray. I just prefer the amount of control that it gives over like the crazy style of some of the others. I feel like it better suits my play style, and so I find that I use that one a lot more often.
Haha, you are outvoted. Fire Stingray wins.
Although, yeah, $2 Hero is saying standard Blue Falcon. I also tend to agree. If I didn't pick Fire Stingray, it would be the Blue Falcon. I do enjoy that vehicle as well.
I was scarred. I was scarred by how bad the Blue Falcon was in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, so I just generally stay away from it at all costs.
I don't know what this Blue Falcon we're talking about is. I'm only familiar with the Pink Falcon from F-Zero 99.
The skins are really cool too.
That is a really fun feature.
Yeah, the skins are great. I love them.
I honestly normally don't care at all about skins in games. Like I still play, like for the longest time I was playing the default character in Fortnite, and I still play the base characters in Dead by Daylight. But in F-Zero, like I don't know what it is about. I actually care. I actually like earning them. I think part of it is just because like even you can make yourself feel distinct even among this giant sea of vehicles. Like that's impressive, you know. Like you can pick yourself out pretty quickly on the starting line, even usually.
Yeah,
Yeah, at least
it makes it a lot.
once you're far enough into the game and have enough collectibles, yeah.
Yeah.
That's another cool thing that they added in. What do y'all think visual wise? Because I think this game is stunning. Gonna be honest.
It's breathtaking, man. It's so cool how they remade all of that.
All the textures
Yeah,
look so nice.
Yeah, it looks it's perfect for what it is. Like they perfectly emulated that 16-bit style, and it's still I won't say it's like beautiful or gorgeous, but it's something I appreciate. Like it takes me back to that era when I remember playing that game. When it first came out, and the fact that that art style is still distinct, still holds up, is impressive in its own right. And I love that they were so faithful to it, almost to a fault. Like I think because like you have the idea of this game is that like these racetracks are supposed to be like way high up in the sky, but you never really get that effect because like everything's on the flat plane. And I kind of wish they had brought in the GBA style where you had parallax effect of the ground below, so it looked like it was farther down. But you know what? I'm glad they didn't, so it was more true to the Super NES version, which makes it more faithful, I guess.
Yeah, I really
Yeah.
love how the Skyway like mechanic looks and also works
Yeah.
because it gives like Andre was saying, when you're playing the original game, there's no way to catch up if you mess up. Where the Skyway you get more of the little gold circle things when you're in the back, and that lets you go straight to the front. And I've only won a few games that I played because I've used the Skyway.
And that's totally valid, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's a completely valid way of earning that win. Is there's still strategy involved in it? You still have to get the energy to go to the Skyway, and it and it doesn't even feel like you're cheating. Like it feels like because you're not. Like it's a legitimate gameplay mechanic, and I love that.
Yeah, and it's a great way to balance the overall game too, because since there are generally more people clumped toward the back of the race, there's going to be more energy pellets there, and so it's
Exactly.
easier to come back up, and then, yeah, especially when you're like at the front of the race, there's like barely anything up there, so it's easier for players who aren't as experienced to come back, and I think it's a really good mechanic overall.
It's so funny because F-Zero is typically known as the more like hardcore Nintendo racing game series, whereas Mario Kart's far more casual. And yeah, look at F-Zero 99. I'm like, man, they figured out some like awesome way of balancing this that like Mario Kart could be taking lessons from. Like I think Mario Kart could really like look at this game and be like, okay, we could probably modify this mechanic, do something a little different with it in order to make those races feel a little bit more balanced than they do currently.
Add Skyway into Mario Kart 10.
Exactly. Rainbow Road. Make it Rainbow Road.
Yeah,
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're straying a bit from the visuals topic, but
yeah, but we should have talked about that earlier. The Skyway.
so I guess in terms of soundtrack, there's not really a whole lot because I'm pretty sure it's just the original songs from the game. The
Correct.
original
Yeah.
game.
I think they're exact recreations. Like, not even recreations. They're the exact same track.
Yeah.
Is the menu, like, is the opening scene and menu music different?
No, that
Ooh,
that
okay,
is unique.
yeah.
That is new. Yep.
Yeah. There is the menu music. I do enjoy the menu music and that how there's like different levels of intensities, whether there's a Grand Prix going on or not.
That's cool. Yeah, I even love that menu. You know how like it feels dynamic. It's always changing, and just yeah, really well done. And the music is great.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to say about this game other than it was really well made, and I'm so glad that Nintendo finally did F-Zero right.
Yeah, thank you, Nintendo. Thank you for finally remembering you own an awesome IP. And I hope this isn't the end for it. I suspect it won't be, because I'm sure Nintendo will, for one, is testing the waters of this game regardless. And based on the success of it, I assume they have to be looking at what more they can do with it. And I'm just glad this game exists. Like I don't even I say this like I want more F-Zero, obviously, but if this somehow is the end of the road, I'm like, you know what? At least I got F-Zero 99 out of it because this game was amazing and actually might be my favorite game in the series.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely up there, yeah. It was like a really big surprise announcement and it shocked a lot of people, including myself. And I'm just wondering not only the future of F-Zero games, but also of 99 games. Like, I feel like after introducing this, there's a lot of potential.
Yeah, because the other 99 games have been fairly low effort for the most part, and they haven't really reinvented the wheel. Whereas this game literally reinvented the wheel into like a freaking hover stack. That was a really good. I did a good job with that sentence.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
But yeah, no, if you haven't played F-Zero 99 yet and you have a Switch Online account, go play it. If you don't have a Switch Online account, here's another reason to get a Switch Online account because this game is very fun.
And also, there's literally no reason to do that because Nintendo just announced another free trial. So whether you have Switch Online or not, this game is now completely free for a limited time. So just go and play it. It's fun.
And speaking of free trials, again, until the end of the year, we have our Patreon, have a 7-day free trial if you want to just check it out, and we're going to be uploading some bonus episodes onto there. And also join the link in the description below. Thank you so much again to Andre for coming up on this episode. Like, that's incredible.
It's an absolute honor to have you on this show.
Well, it was a ton of fun being here, so thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, so go check out all his stuff. Gamexplain on YouTube. Is there anything else? Andre on Twitter, Andre GX.
Yeah, on Twitter I'm Andre Segers, and you can also follow Gamexplain on TikTok at Gamexplain.
Cool. So go check out his stuff, and thank you for listening to this episode. We'll see you next time.
When we go off the wall.